Good morning, Michelle, Rudy, and you. Thank you for joining me this morning. FAnews speaks to advisors, financial planners, brokers, intermediaries, and I think our role is critical to speak to people like you to hear what brokers and advisors need to tell their clients, because I know they are worried, they are inundated, and they don't know always what the answers are. I think you guys have all started communicating with them, but I think this forum would just give some clarity. COVID-19 and lockdown have put us in a different position. So thank you for joining me. I'm quickly just introducing you. Michelle Jennings is the CEO of Sanlam Group Risk. Hugh Hacking, Head of Operations, Old Mutual Corporate, and Rudy van Rooyen is Head of Group Risk Pricing at Momentum Corporate. Today we are talking specifically about group risk and the challenges that employers have in this very difficult time. So first question, COVID not only affects people's health, and I think the big impact will still happen, but obviously the impact on the economy is massive, especially with lockdown. Certain companies, if they don't work, there's zero income. That has specific implications for employee benefit packages and companies who offer that. Surely there will be companies who won't be able to pay any premiums this month. How are you, as the insurer, going to accommodate people and help them? Michelle.
Thank you, Renette. It's quite interesting. We've had a large number of inquiries on exactly this point. And to date, not that many companies have said to us that they're not going to be paying their insurance premiums. So we're certainly seeing a different approach for the administered retirement funds, so the approved business, where a lot of companies are opting to reduce their retirement fund savings contribution, but continuing to pay their risk premiums. For the unapproved business, the inquiries that we've had to date, some companies absolutely paying zero, and unfortunately, if there is no premium, then there is no cover for that particular month as well. But generally, most of the companies are going to do whatever they can to pay their full risk premiums because they understand the consequences of the reduced benefits if there's a reduced premium.
Rudy?
Yeah, I think similar thing that we saw, similar queries and situations. I think retirement contributions is a fairly easier thing to give something like a premium holiday for a few months. On the group insurance side, it is a bit of a difficult case where if we don't get premiums, you don't have the cash flow to honor claims. We try to accommodate clients at least through the lockdown period. We have extended grace period in which they can pay the premiums. So that will hopefully help them to just at least see them through the next few months. But unfortunately, the premiums will still be due at the end. We will still honor claims in the grace period, but at the end the premiums still need to be paid, but we hope we can help the clients at least by giving the grace period.
Good morning, Renette. Firstly, let me say, I think at Old Mutual, we've really recognized the difficulty that the country, the world, our clients and intermediaries actually face through this time. So we've done a number of things proactively to try to assist intermediaries, not only in the group space, but also in the retail space as well. And specifically in the group space, for clients and intermediaries, we've recognized that these are really trying times. So we've put a number of relief measures in place with the view to helping people look for options that can assist them to reduce their premiums and reduce their retirement contributions without actually losing benefits at this point in time. So for us, the main aim is to make sure that we can help people to actually weather the storm of this time as best as possible and still come out the other side with benefits that are in place, with their livelihoods in place. Specifically in the group risk benefit space, we are working very closely with our customers so as to work out bespoke solutions for them. That actually means that together with us, that we can work a solution that allows their employees to have cover in place whilst potentially providing some relief on the premium side at the same time. And so really, for me, there isn't a one size fits all across our book that we've put in place. For smaller clients, it's a little simpler. We've put in place a number of sort of measures, which include deferring the rate reviews for the next few months, so that our clients are not subject to having to go through rate reviews at this particular point in time. But for the larger clients, we're actually working with them individually to see what works best.
Thank you for that. Michelle, you mentioned some of the companies will literally not be able to pay them. Is that then the end of the road for them? Is it just like that? How does that work?
Unfortunately, we have had some notices to say that the schemes are actually terminating. And I think it's very sad that we are already seeing companies this early on recognizing that they're just not going to be able to sustain through this period. For other companies where they're not able to pay their premiums, we fully recognize that once things are back up to or in normal, if there's ever going to be a normal again, yes, we will bring those schemes back on board. There won't be medical underwriting and all the types of things that are going to apply as if it was a brand new scheme. So we recognize it's almost like a contribution holiday. It's just unfortunate that there is no cover during that particular period.
That's what I want to confirm. The same with you, Rudy?
Yeah, so it's the exact same case. I think this is an opportunity also for financial advisors to help their clients really have a good look at the benefit levels and the benefit structure. I mean, if a company is struggling to afford the premiums, it may actually be that the benefit levels or something is a bit too high. So it is an unfortunate event, but it's also maybe a good time for opportunities to really dig into the structure. And I think ideally you want to find a balance between good benefit levels, but also benefits that's actually affordable. And financial advisors play a key role in actually getting that balance right for their clients. And as insurers, we're very happy to partner with them and assist where we can.
Yeah, you mentioned lower benefits. So one of the questions I've then also had, obviously, some companies might get back to normal, whatever the new normal will be. But for a certain period, some companies might say we are reducing salaries, and with that, we have to look at different group insurance benefits temporarily because we want to go back to where we were. It worked for us. How will that be accommodated? Does it bring a lot of admin into your stable, and how do you deal with each client? Review.
So we recognize that people are going to struggle, and as I mentioned just now, our primary aim is to avoid people losing their benefits. So we're going to work with people, and yes, there's extra work for us, but I mean, we believe it's imperative that through this time, specifically on the risk benefit side, that people don't lose their benefits. So even if employers opt for reduced benefits or whatever they want to do, we will help to accommodate that. The last thing we want to see is a situation where during these particularly fraught times, people have absolutely no insured cover at all. And so that for us is, we are taking every step possible to avoid that, working with our customers, working with intermediaries to ensure that nobody actually has to lose cover at this time.
So the idea that I do get is you guys are really accommodating. I think it's a critical role we as insurers and we as the industry play at this specific time. I read a quote.
I'd like to add, I mean, it's with that mindset in mind that Old Mutual also put in place the life cover for healthcare workers, because we just realized it's such an important, critical thing at this point in time. You know, these are not ordinary times, and they call for extraordinary responses from companies such as ours. So
well done on that. Well done for all of you for really responding to changes very quickly and addressing the client's needs. But because ultimately that's our role. Amendments to policyholder protection rules. The insurer has an increased responsibility towards the members and its beneficiaries, including communicating benefit changes to the members. How can employers and specifically financial advisors help insurers and their clients more in terms of this communication part? Michelle.
Thanks, Renette. Well, firstly, it's been quite interesting that the FSCA has sent out a number of communications where they're providing relief for various things. But what we haven't seen is relief with regards to the PPRs communicating to members 31 days before any changes are made to their benefits. And unfortunately, what we've seen is that clients are desperate right now. If they're going to change their benefits, they need to do it right now. And so how do we retrospectively, it's impossible, inform members that there will be these changes? And so we're encouraging as far as possible, if companies can defer these changes if they are going to implement any, so that we've got time to keep the members informed. But unfortunately, in some circumstances, it's just not going to be possible. And so there, we're doing everything we can to work with the employers, with the intermediaries, to make sure that the communication is adequate and brief enough that we can just distribute it quickly, so that the communication is sufficient, that members understand what is happening.
Really?
Yeah, I think the important and most challenging thing there is to actually get the member data and contact details for the members in order to communicate to them. We have the facilities to do quite bulk communication on any changes in benefits on a member level, but sometimes, especially in the group insurance space, you really struggle to get the contact details. And I think that's where financial advisors can play a critical role to work with their clients and say, okay, but how can we provide this information? If it's not possible, then work with the insurer to try and solve for that specific client. So we're very happy to engage with the financial advisor and client to say, let's look at your unique situation. If you have the information available, how are you going to communicate to members? I think it's very important to manage members' benefit expectations during this time, because maybe benefits may change significantly for a short period of time. And if they're not informed, they may expect something completely different than what they are insured for. So it is a very critical component of changing the benefits for this short period of time.
You?
Thanks, Renette. Well, firstly, I think that we've got a position that says that first and foremost, our responsibility has always been to the actual end beneficiaries, the members themselves. So in that regard, the policyholder protection rules are actually a welcome addition to the regulations, because they're really entrenched in the industry that is who we really serve. In that regard, it means that it's critical, and always has been critical, that benefits are communicated clearly and properly to members. And this time is no different. I think the only difference now is that the mechanism by which that's done needs to change. Just as we're having this call today using technology, Zoom in this particular case, so the way in which you need to communicate with members needs to shift. And one of the strengths in South Africa that assists with us is the fact that most people have actually got cell phones in this country. And so what we're exploring together with our customers is how better can we make use of those sorts of channels to actually help both them and ourselves communicate with the members directly. And so what we're doing is working with intermediaries and employers to help to get hold of those details, both for them and for us, so that we can actually collectively then communicate clearly and concisely with the actual end beneficiaries themselves.
So the message I clearly get is that communication is absolutely critical at this stage. Yes.
Totally.
So we've also spoken about, Michelle, the fact that you've already received notices of some clients that realize that their company will not be surviving this. Are there alternative options for members who belong to the group schemes, or is it just that is the end of the road for them? You can start, Michelle.
Yeah, Renette, it really just depends on the type of policies that are in place. So in some instances, there are conversion options which are available, and of course there are terms and conditions that apply to that. But unfortunately for others, there is not as clear an option. And that's why we're encouraging as far as possible that really organizations try, or, for those that are sustaining, to keep paying those contributions.
Really?
Yeah, I think the first price would be for them to continue with the employers to pay contributions, but unfortunately it's not always possible. The conversion option or continuation option, I think, is a viable solution for a member that can afford to actually continue with their benefits. So the continuation option enables group scheme members to buy an individual retail life policy without the need to go for medical underwriting. And I think financial advisors can also help the clients to make sure that that type of options are available. In case the employer can't see this through, then at least we know there is a solution for the members.
You?
Yes, Renette, it's a real sad reality that this pandemic is going to cause job losses and companies going out of business at a time when our economy can probably least afford that. And so it's quite encouraging to see the package that the President announced to actually help to assist small businesses in particular to try to survive this time. But I think we sadly need to recognize that some won't. As I mentioned earlier, for us, one of the primary objectives is to try to ensure that people retain cover through this time. So in addition to, as Michelle has mentioned, conversion options that are in place for schemes, we'll continue to look for ways in which we can actually do that. But certainly conversion options is one way for individual employees to exercise an option to retain cover. But we also want to work with people to make sure that they preserve their savings with those in place and to try to make intelligent and well-informed financial decisions through this very difficult time.
What I clearly hear again is that the role of the advisor is critical. It's a time where we advisors all once again have to go to clients to say, this is what happened. Were we prepared enough? Is your setup ideal? And the communication with clients and advisors is now going to go to a next level, and a renewed energy from the advisor side on approaching businesses on how the conversation they will have with clients. So that's great. I always believe in the silver lining. So out of all of this, there will be good things coming out. I think my last question, is there anything else that the industry can do to assist clients and the wider population in this time at the moment? Michelle?
Renette, I think, well, firstly, from an insurer's perspective, preparing for something like a pandemic, it's basically what we're here for. The insurance companies are here for this time of need. There's very strict requirements for insurance companies in terms of capital requirements, and so we've been building up, making sure that our balance sheets are strong so that when we face with something like this, the companies have got the strength to commit to paying those claims during this time of need. I think we've already covered so many things that we're doing in terms of engaging with the clients, making sure that we can listen to their particular needs, try and find solutions that are appropriate for them. I just think that there is a lot that insurance companies and intermediaries and clients can do together to be able to get through this situation.
Really?
I think, like Michelle said, I think the important thing is for us to make sure that we are able to honor claims, especially during this uncertain time. That is the one thing that people at least want the security about. So at least make sure that we have the sufficient capital to honor the claims. And then I think just as employees of Momentum, to also just do the right thing. We've set up working from home abilities to make sure that the business continue to run, make sure that our employees stay at home, practice good hygiene. So at least every individual do their part, and then utilize anything else that we can, like the teledoctor services, make that available. I know a few insurers have the test facilities at their own premises. So anything extra, insurers donate to solidarity funds where they can. So I think everyone is really trying to help in whatever way they can, not just by looking at their products and their solutions, but actually any other way as well, to make sure that together we can get through this.
That's fantastic. You?
Thanks, Renette. Yes, I think, as mentioned, I think it's imperative for companies that, like Old Mutual and the other large insurers, who have financial strength and depth to assist the economy in general and the country in general at a time like this. And it's with that in view that Old Mutual has been contributing both in terms of administering of the Solidarity Fund, making contributions to the Solidarity Fund, actually making a contribution to assist with the purchase of protective equipment for frontline workers, the healthcare, the insurance for frontline workers, and in addition to our customers, such as our disability claimants, putting in place mechanisms so that they can get support for COVID-19 related queries during these times. And so we are continuing to look at where we can support the rest of South Africa and the economy with the kinds of assistance that somebody like Old Mutual can provide. These are really uncertain times, and we'd like to think that a company like Old Mutual and the other large insurers are able to provide some level of certainty around some things during these times. And that includes things like being able to claim, knowing that your benefits are safe, and knowing that as the economy emerges from these difficult times, that people are as best placed as possible to continue with their normal lives.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much. The message I really get is positive. I feel hopeful. I think the message is also clear to the advisor force is communicate with your clients, communicate with your providers. The doors are open, the communication lines are open. So let's make this work and let's let the silver lining shine. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and good luck in this very, very hectic time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Renette.
Thank you, Renette.
Bye.